book that they're reading, and as individuals.
Perhaps they're confused. It worked out that he was confused, but perhaps in another book, the other person is clear, and maybe the person who's unaware is confused. So I mean, it could be vice versa.
Mm-hmm. But I think she would. And I think also to add to that, it happened for whatever the reason. It happened, right? Correct. It happened, and it worked out that it for the two of you.
So it was a good break.
I'm not going to say that it's a good break. No break is good. Anything you break.
I mean, I think sometimes.
No, wait a minute. You're not saying it benefited you? Do you think that
at the end? But I didn't know it was going to benefit me at the end.
Right.
But when she said the break was good, I can't say that. I can't.
At the
agree
moment,
with
no, absolutely.
Yeah,
no.
the break hurts.
Yeah,
you were hurt,
and
that's
why I said he can't be in the outhouse because you can't expect him to, because you want to take a break. You can't expect him to say, "I want to take the break too." Okay, so if he out in the outhouse, okay, well, I'm still gonna do me. I'm gonna still be doing this and that. And you looking at him going out? No, you can't expect him to say, okay, because you want to break, I'm gonna sit in the house and we just gonna break, but in two separate houses. And I'm not gonna see nobody. I'm not gonna talk to nobody else. I'm not gonna go out. I'm not gonna do this. No, you can't expect that.
Yeah,
you chose to take the break.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna sit up here and watch you do all this stuff. You take your break way over there.
I'm with you too.
I take my break way
so
over there.
my question is the break comes is it because it's the 80-20 rule because we're not getting the 20%.
No.
It's because these two people they're not communicating and they can't match.
They're not lining up for whatever's happening. They can't.
What if it's their children though?
Yeah.
If there's children, I mean,
no, not if it's their children. The break is with the children.
Oh no, that's
what do you mean?
I mean, I have 5 children.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I just don't like them, and that's reality.
Okay. Yeah.
Sometimes I just like.
So you're breaking. You can have So then but how many of us have children and we've had to take it? This is where your family member comes into play.
Right.
You have to enlist a supportive squad.
With my oldest, he's 13. So
you got to get a squad.
He's going to do well.
You do.
Yeah.
He's finding himself.
Yeah.
And I'm finding myself trying not to help him find himself.
But he's 13, so when he gets to those teenage years, yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, mine's 13 too.
What I've done was I had to really sit in some prayer, and then I had to stop and really pay attention to his character.
Yeah.
Because not only is he 13, he's a young man, which means he's still a guy.
Mm-hmm.
So he thinks like a guy. So I had to figure like, okay, so what is he like? What does he dislike? And so this is difficult because this is talking about my child.
Yeah,
so
but
like,
you have to ask.
you like.
He has to become that your friend.
So
No.
Yes, he does for a minute.
No,
Let him tell you.
I wouldn't let him become my friend, but I did.
What I mean that is, he don't know you his friend.
Right.
You become his friend. You don't let the friends and the outside. You begin to say, "Oh, so you like them girls?
But that's
What kind of girls?"
I realized
That's what I mean by friends.
Oh,
you begin to
You
like
start
we
to
doing with the
communicate.
men. Yeah, communicate.
So-
Same thing we do with the guys. We want to know everything about a man. I want to know everything about my son. I want to know if he thinks the sky's red or blue.
With the other 4, I learned to do that because I didn't do that with him.
Right. Okay.
So with him, I had to just figure out what do you like.
Right.
He wasn't gonna tell me because he's already cut me off. So technically, he jumped me.
But that's part, but lovable. That's part for those of who have older children. My son is 16, and I'm you may have older. Your son, how old is your son?
21.
Yeah. So that's part of the process. How old is your son? 18. Yeah, that's part of that process of. Yeah, they get on your nerves. You can take the break as a parent if they can't go outside your house. You can take. You got to figure out how to take the break inside the house.
What I did realize is that he's a helper, and the frustration came in with him not having the authority to be the man of the house, though he stepped into that position without my permission. So I had to find things for him to do. Okay, you love to help and you like kids. Well, you're not a man in this household, but what I can do is I can sign you as a volunteer at a summer camp with kids. Now you can help them all day long, and you can come home and you can do that list of things I told you have to do.
Yeah.
So, but it works because now he's at peace with, he's still being able to be himself without trying to control a household because he's wired to be a man. That's just how he's been that way since forever. But he can't be the man in my house. He can be my son, who's a male. You can't. We're not together.
But I think some of that.
You can't be my mom.
I think some of that has to do with that. So when you talk about like, how do we take a break from our kids? You know, I used to always say, "Oh, you have." When my son was young, it's like I can't imagine him going off to college. But all those who had children who were older, they're like, by the time it's time for him to go, you are ready for him to go. So yeah, it's like you're ready for that to happen. I think that it's going to apply to, you're going to take a different approach in how you take your 5, depending on what the dynamics of that relationship is. And some of us are seeming to be much more confident in having a discussion, and when we need to take it, like, what if it's your mama? I mean, that would be really difficult.
Take 5 for her too.
Right, but I'm just saying
That's my mom is probably the easy one for me. I could easily take.
But that's the dynamics of your relationship.
I can tell her if she can handle it.
Yeah, that's the
Oh
dynamics.
no, my mother cannot.
See, everybody's dynamics with
me,
their mother
that's
is going to
the
be
easiest one.
different. Yeah.
My mother makes us take a 5 because she acts out.
She's taking her own time.
Oh, she should. Yeah, she just pushes you to the brink, and then she just because she doesn't know how to communicate, so she just all these mean
girls.
Yeah, she just goes mean. She just starts. I can't believe you. I just feel sorry for your children. And she just goes on and on.
So it's easy
to the point where you're just like, you know what?
Time out.
I'll call you later.
Yeah.
And later it's like a month.
Yeah. So you take so that's
but situations like that, those people are just really calling out for help. And they just don't know how to ask for it.
Well, you can. That's hard to fix.
Well, and
if it's
they
your
don't
mama.
want to accept it.
For me, it works.
Well,
They don't even want to accept the help.
How does your mother? It's hard. You got to have a
she's a
certain
mother.
type of right.
And she doesn't want to accept any
Not from her
help.
child.
No.
For me, I was able to.
Not
I
for
know
your
my
child.
mother verbally. We're gonna clash. We communicated. So I would let her go off, and I would get off the phone and I would send her a text message. What you just said really hurt me. How did that make you feel? And then I would leave it there. She's not gonna respond for a week or two. But the next time I see her, she's gonna say something rude because that's what she naturally does. I'll leave. I'll send another text. I said, you did that thing again. It hurt. So now when you call me, I'm not gonna answer your calls, right? Because you're rude.
Yeah, but see, and that's a lot of back and forth, right? So the whole goal of taking 5 is to figure out how can we get back and get better. So it sounds like Candy took her 6 years. You took your
choice,
but what I'm saying is, when it happened, it sounds like
I grew.
Yes,
You had
right.
Yeah.
But so how do you make sure that when you go back, whether it's your child, whether it's your mother, because I don't know if going back and forth with the text is going to get in there the way it needs to. I don't know. So when you go back because it's therapy that helps you back. I'm good after the vacation. I'm good after the separation, because it's about healing the relationship. There's a reason why you took the 5 in the first place.
I think you need to trust yourself. Yeah. For me, when he wanted to come back, I had to realize it wasn't about me trusting him that he will or will not do that. It was about me trusting me, what I will do. So the trust wasn't on him. The trust is on me. What am I going to do if situations arise? How am I?
Well, because then I think if you trust in yourself, that gives you better control. Because if everything is put on the other person, they're not going to meet expectations all the time. They're going to be, human and unpredictable, and you're really not going to know. That puts us in this place of, I can't control this relationship, and you're always full of anxiety and fear. And
but
fear.
I can trust me.
Yeah. So I think,
what I'm going to do, how I'm going to manage you, him, anyone else. How am I going to manage you? I have to be able to trust that. And when you put that trust on yourself, you also, I feel, for me, I have to take the responsibility that if I get it wrong, allow me to come back and apologize that I got it wrong. And if you can't accept my apology, I can't do anything about that. But I know that I've done wrong, and hopefully I won't have to repeat it somewhere else. But I can't make you accept my apology. And as people, we're so scared to get things wrong that we get, what do you call it, paralyzed fear?
Yeah.
It's a word for it, but I can't.
So let me ask, as we wrap up this segment, I have one more question for Candy or anybody. She's the one that's taken. She did the take 5. I know we've all done it like smaller doses. Hers seems to be the longest. What happens if somebody needs another take 5?
Oh, you don't get another take 5.
You don't get another.
You don't get a take 5.
You don't get another one. All right.
Because it's on me. You don't get another take 5.
You don't get another one. All right.
Zero tolerance.
So what if you want to take 5?
I don't. I know how to communicate at this point of what I like and what I don't like and what makes me happy because I know my happy list and I know my unhappy list. And if he decides he doesn't want to meet my happy list, it's okay.
Because it's no longer a take 5; it's a take forever.
Right.
There you go. That's perfect.
Yeah, right. It's a take forever. Well, on that note, I want to thank you, baddies, for joining me, talking shit with LSH. And I want you to just, make sure one of the things we want to make sure you do is subscribe to the podcast, Talking Shit with LSH. It's on iTunes, Spreaker, YouTube. On YouTube, it's the LSH channel. Subscribe, give a review. And then also when we promote, you'll be able to listen and you'll be able to share it with whomever you want to listen. And you'll be able to already have the podcast on your device. So thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Go out and unleash a little. And maybe next time you'll join us for some more juicy topics. Okay, thank you. Okay, so that's the juice, everyone. Thank you for joining Talking Shit with LSH and the baddies. You've just been unleashed. Now go unleash a few more baddies in the world. Peace.